So this noise is really weird. We've all decided it's transmission related, but we don't know exactly if it's clutch or flywheel or internal trans or what. That's clutch in there. If it's the trans, I don't care. I'll drive it with a trans problem. I just don't want the engine to have problems. All right, so we're checking things out, and it looks like the flywheel is loose. I don't know if I can get a good shot of this. I really don't know if you can see that. I doubt you can see it. I don't know how I'm gonna get a shot of this. It's definitely loose. All right, guys, I just figured out that the flywheel is loose. It's not great. What do you have Lucas for? Lucas is not going to fix this problem.
He's gonna solve the problem.
No.
You said me, Lucas solved everything.
Just squeeze it in the bell housing. Oh man, all that work to put this engine in, and now we got to pull the trans out to tighten the flywheel, and I'm the one that tightened it. And I know I used a torque wrench, and they were used ARP bolts, but I know I tightened it. It's day one of this drift event out of 2 days, and it's like 5:30 p.m. So I think if we start pulling it now, we could have it done in 2 hours. It'll still be light outside. We'll still get some laps tonight. It just sucks. It just sucks. It makes it a lot easier when you got good friends around to make you laugh. Somebody come make me laugh. All right, we got the trans out. I want to see if you can see this thing move. I swear, it's like you can barely tell. See it? Me too. You see it?
Oh yes. I see it moving.
It was really hard to see from the other side. So I'm going to take this apart and then try and torque those flywheel bolts. The good thing is those are the ones that are stripped out. And they're supposed to be a half-inch 12 point, and I only have a 13mm 12 point, which is going to strip them even more. So I'm just going to put Loctite and send it and see what happens. So we found a problem.
And we found another one.
No, only one problem. One problem at a time. I haven't touched any of these yet. Hey Pinto.
Yeah?
Whose job was this to tighten these, huh?
It's Brandon's job.
Brandon's job. And
you already told the fielding that you do the job.
No.
Oh yes, I heard that.
All right.
Está direita.
So, huh?
Não está direito.
No.
Ainda está igual?
Está torto. From the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit bent.
It needs more clutch kicks to put it straight. All right, so I got to clean each one of these off, put some Loctite, and then torque them to, I don't know, something proper, I guess. All this, I don't know. I want to say it wasn't a lack of attention because I swear I put a torque wrench on these. I swear.
I know that. I saw it.
I just don't know why this happened. Why? Why did this happen? There's a little bit of marking on the crank. It doesn't look excessive. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. Like right there. And then I have this spacer behind the crank. This is an automatic transmission flex plate bolt spacer that I run this for my CDO9 conversion to space the flywheel out. And this has a little bit of marking on it. So I hope none of that becomes a problem. But we don't really have a choice, we have to run it. It looks like this rear main is leaking. Get this out of here. main seal. So now what? I gotta go find a main seal from the parts store and hope it's better than this other one?
That one is new.
Yeah, but it's not good. It's a bad part. I don't know. I don't want to do this job again in a week. Ah, this sucks. So, this rear main, this was from a parts store, maybe Rock Auto or something. But I'm worried if I just order another rear main from O'Reilly, and then even if I have to wait for it tomorrow or spend all this time like trying to track it down and driving all over town, I don't trust that it's going to be any better than this one. So I'm kind of thinking I should order an OEM rear main seal and take my transmission back out when I get home. Maybe even take the engine out. So I think for tonight, I'm just going to put this right back together. I hate taking it out and doing the job twice, but that might be where we're at, honestly. So I think that's my decision. I'm putting this back together. No rear main, even though I know for sure it's going to leak again. I definitely don't want these coming out again, so.
I just turned it off, crack the cap, let the air first. But I want to go do a pull to see.
I need a whole bunch of Loctite on here.
My biggest problem is problem. That would be my biggest problem.
In the past, I've used RTV for this, but after this experience, never again am I putting these in without Loctite. Not that I'm not saying for sure that was it, but I think it definitely would have helped not back out if they had Loctite. So.
Winning?
Yep.
Let's put that back. This is still full.
If I was at my shop, I would use a magnetic runout gauge and then check the runout on the flywheel and see if it's straight or not. But we don't have that stuff at the track, and like I said, I'm probably gonna take this out again soon and do all this work over. So I'm literally just trying to drive for another day and a half. So no, just tomorrow really. So all this work for one day of driving.
Are you vlogging?
Yeah, I'm vlogging. Can you stop talking? This is the whole vibe here. We got the car up on the lift. P2 did all the work.
Well, I'm very happy.
Matt did the fire. And Stefan is missing. Is he okay?
Whenever I go to an event with Stefan out of town, he always finds like 3 people he drives with on a Seto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
he's got some homies.
Yeah, he's hanging out with like those dudes with those baller white E46s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's kicking it with them.
There's no more noise. We got it finished, started up. There's definitely some noises here, but not the noise. Let's go give it a lap. Not a lap on the track, a lap around the parking lot. It is like 11:30. They were done driving a long time ago. No more clickety clackety, bang bang, whatever it is. It still makes CD09 noises, but whatever that other noise was a lot worse than the CD09 noise. Yeah, I learned something new. Noises are one of the hardest things to diagnose in a car. If you're really good at diagnosing noises, and I feel like there's no way to get good at it without literally just struggling through diagnosing weird noises, and then you learn the noise, and then your brain's like, oh, I know what that is now. And I've got a lot of that figured out because I've dealt with a lot of crap like that. But this one was definitely different for me. So I'm glad that we got it fixed. I'm glad that we figured it out. I'm glad I didn't just be like, oh no, that's nothing. The other guys kind of talked me into it. No, I think you should really check that out. And I was like, no, I'm being lazy. And then we checked it out, and it was definitely a loose flywheel. So glad we got it fixed, and we're gonna drive tomorrow. But that is it for tonight. So I will catch you guys tomorrow, and I'm not gonna show my face for the end. Ha! Because I'm tired. Good morning, guys. I literally just got up, got out of the trailer to jump in my car, and Manny comes over and he's like, hey, let's get some laps right now. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm still not awake, but let's go drive.
Oh my god!
Is this a drift event or a European football tournament? Hey, what is this? Ole, ole! All right, what's going on? You need copper gasket?
Yeah, I need this to seal.
I brought copper, and everyone's like, why you always use copper? And then someone's like, hey, Wickness got copper. Yeah, I got copper. I brought it for something, right? We gotta find it, we gotta use it for something. I don't wanna bring it for no reason. Now where did I put it? So I was on track and I was doing the last corner, locked out, and then all of a sudden I just feel the wheel go whoa, 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 and then it was acting all weird. I thought for sure I broke one of the bolts to the lower knuckle adapter things, but we bent a tie rod. I actually don't know what's going on here. It's got a bent tie rod. What happened? I actually don't know what's going on. Control arms are in place. No, they're steel, Aaron. They can't break. I can't tell. Steel can't break, Aaron. It can't break. This didn't happen until after you drove it 10 laps ago.
It was more than 10 laps. I also drove it, I didn't hit anything.
I didn't hit anything either. You loosened it up for me. I was gentle. What are we dealing with here? I actually have no idea what's wrong. I'm gonna get this parked and then put it up in the air and see what it is.
Bro, fire it up. Please, before you look at it, tell me what you think is wrong.
Broken tie rod.
Oh, man.
No! They're unbreakable, Aaron. What actually happened there?
I don't know, it looks like a clean shear or something on that piece.
Oh no, the knuckle is still. Oh,
Did it pull out? What is it?
it's the tie rod shank. It wasn't my knuckle. It's the shank of the tie rod.
I know, right there, right?
Yeah.
Did it pull through or did it break?
Oh no, it did break. You're right.
Yeah, it looks like that must have broken.
Yep. You are right. We found the first failure point. All right, guys, this is the end of Drift Week for us. We are headed back home. We had a good time on the trip, but also some mechanical problems, some big ones, some small ones. Yesterday, the day ended with a failure in the steering parts. So it was kind of middle of the day. We basically scabbed it together to put it back in the trailer. I had already decided that we were gonna go home. There's still another drift day at Thunderhill, which is not very fun in a 195 horsepower car. And then there's a kart track in Reading, which I would like to do, but that's gonna be basically 5 extra days to get 2 days of drifting out of it, and it's just not worth it for me. I've got a lot of stuff to do at home. I need to get working on my shop again. Pinto wants to work on his car a little bit for the last days that he's here, and so it's only fair that we go home and try and take advantage of that time. And you know, like I said, it's not that fun. If the car had 400 horsepower, 100%, I'd be at Thunderhill and at the Reading kart track, but not the car the way it is. Also, I need to save the car for ride-alongs we have coming up. Like I told you, I built the car for ride-alongs. We have ride-alongs in May, and I need the car to be ready for that. So it's working, the engine's working, nothing's broken other than the simple pieces I can fix when I get home. The body kit's still intact, the paint's still decent, so save the car, use it for its intended purpose, build myself another car, which I want to do, to be able to go do all the fun stuff and have just an absolute thrasher of a car is the plan. But this is the end for Drift Week. So thank you guys for following along. We've still got a long drive through the Oregon desert, through Idaho, and back to Utah. But I just wanted to get a little bit of this beautiful view, standing on top of my trailer on this desolate road where nobody ever wants to break down because there's nothing around. But I got the old reliable 6.7. It's costing me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in fuel because my oil burner is not running right now. But that's a project for another day. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one, which I don't know what it's going to be, but I will try and keep up with this content. Love you guys. Bye.